All right, do we want to start? Should I intro?
Probably.
Okay.
Are you gonna do a good job of it this time?
Yes, I'm gonna do. I always do a good job of the intro.
Okay.
No. Get away from the microphone. Speak at a reasonable distance.
You know when you go up and you grab the mic with two hands, you're in for something
just
real bad.
Yeah, you're in for this. Hello, and welcome.
You're clipping there, bud.
Yeah, I know I'm clipping. That's the point. Okay. All right.
Well, if you're gonna clip, you might as well just go
For
all
real,
out.
For
Just
real
like,
this time.
yeah, just yell right in the mic.
The amount of times
Don't
I
do
got
it, but-
yelled at by TJ while we were broadcasting something for Tommy Sports because I got too excited or something. I would do something that he would look at me, take his headphones off, and just point down. That was his way of saying, "Shut up! You were way too loud." Oh, good
That's
times.
like when you're doing mic checks for people, you're supposed to talk at the volume you're going to talk, because then you can be you.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, you hear a whole-
but the volume that Anthony, and I'm guilty of this as well.
Everyone is.
Everyone
at
is.
some point.
But the volume that you speak at when you're broadcasting sports of and he takes it up the ice and he's got a shot and it's a goal! It's a goal for St. John.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't check for
replicate
You
that.
can't.
Yeah.
Well, then that's why you need an audio engineer who can help adjust that.
You could just be better at your job during that time, too.
Welcome everybody to the Q4 podcast. Your favorite podcast hosted by TJ, Noah, and Anthony. And today, also Nick.
Again with the public radio voice. Why do you insist on the public radio voice?
Because it's fun.
No, it's
And we're
not.
here to have fun, gentlemen.
Whoa.
We're also here to
Please tell me that came through.
I can guarantee
Okay.
it.
Good. That shows the production quality that we have here.
I'm sorry, I got a text.
TJ doesn't turn down his own volume for this. We're secondary to his own personal
Yeah, my
life.
notifications are more important than the audio of this podcast.
Unrelated. I'm just checking my phone real quick. Good to go.
All right. Welcome. How are you guys doing? How are you all?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Happy to be here. This is probably the quickest turnaround we've ever done.
Wait, this is a week to week. No, this is 2 weeks. Never mind.
There's 2 weeks.
Has it
yeah.
been 2 weeks?
No,
It's
it
been
hasn't
2
been
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We didn't record last week. We were in St. Louis.
So then it was more than a week, because then I was in Oklahoma the week before. So that's
Oh gosh, it's been 3 weeks.
Has it really?
yeah,
Oh my gosh,
What?
yeah,
Wow. Those three weeks just
it's been a wild
blitzed
ride.
by.
yeah.
Been a wild time. We got sports to talk about, gentlemen. Well, first, Nick, do you want to introduce yourself? You've never been on the show before.
Yeah, I'm not. I've just kind of wandered into the studio and you guys let me in. It's great to be here, talk to you. Yeah.
See, he's using public radio voice. Why
Yeah.
do you yell
But
at me when I do that?
he's doing
It's
it
good, though.
naturally. Like, that's just
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this is just how
It's
I
not.
talk.
no, that is not how you talk.
opening up another career path for me here.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize I was doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
happy that's
Really boring radio.
yeah.
That's
That's my passion is really boring radio. That's what I want to do.
it would fit.
Hey, we're not standing in your way here,
Yeah,
pal.
man, it's all you.
Perfect.
Speaking of really boring radio, let's get right into our show.
I think there are many words you can use to describe the show. Boring is not one of
No,
them.
I don't think so.
I think that's probably the only word you couldn't use to
Yeah.
describe this show.
Or predictable, because we are the opposite of that. So
Yeah. I mean, we were supposed to start 17 minutes ago, but here we are.
here we
So-
are.
Gosh.
Come on,
Okay.
make a cool transition and start us off.
Segue,
Q1.
TJ.
Come on.
Q1. That's my transition. Q1.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the Twins because they're 4-1 right now, and I'm going to make the prediction right now they're winning the AL Central. Straight off the bat. Straight off. They're doing it.
Well, it was funny. I was talking to someone a little earlier this week, one of our Kojo professors here, and he's a Detroit Tigers fan. And, we were talking about both the AL Central and the NL Central. And he was saying that these are both going to be the closest divisions in baseball. The NL Central, because it's, you got three really good teams at the top, and it's the fight for who wants it the most. whereas the AL Central is the fight
Total
for who
garbage.
doesn't want it the least.
The White Sox are the worst team in the league. I'm just going to say that right now. They're like, and nobody else is really all that much better in the conference. Like the Twins could go like 90-72 and might win the conference by like 5.5 games.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
the AL Central
The
or
AL Central.
Okay, I was going to
No,
say
the division, not the conference.
Yeah.
Well, because it's division league, you're using wrong.
Yeah.
I was going to say if you're saying they can win the entire AL at
no.
90 and
they're,
72,
They're gonna win the AL Central. They're gonna go to the first round. They're gonna play either Boston or New York, and they're gonna get smoked right off the bat.
although Boston is at 1-5, Yankees are at 2-4 right now. So
They're talented
Twins are winning the
teams,
World
though.
Series.
Yeah.
There it is.
They'll
They are the
rebound,
best
but-
team in the league right now.
Yeah.
Williams Astudillo is the greatest player to ever play the game. Byron Buxton is a hero, and our pitching staff is unmatched.
It usually is unmatched, but
I think
the opposite
we already
direction.
have. We already in our first 5 games we've already left more than 30 runners on base.
that's
That's
not
good.
good.
No, it's not.
That
But
is
but
not
it's showing
good.
that we are. Not only are they better than the Twins that we love, but they are also still the Twins that
Yes.
we've hated.
That's true.
They're
It's
just more twins.
yeah. I like. I watched the other day, and was it yesterday? I don't remember. And Justin Morneau was doing the
Yeah,
color
he's
commentary. He was
good.
pretty good. He was better than I remember him being too.
Yeah.
And not to bring up like the Tony Romo thing again from last time, but like he was pretty good. It was entertaining to listen to.
Talk about Tony Romo all you want. I'm totally down for that.
But I think it's like it's refreshing to hear Dick Bramer be like excited because I feel so bad for this poor guy. I mean, it's been since '91, early 2000s since we've had
Exciting baseball in Minnesota.
Like so
that
it's
wasn't
just like,
exciting for the other team.
like this poor guy is just sitting there 162 games, just like, all right, here we go again. You know, it's such a grind.
And they've stranded 3 runners once more.
For the 7th time this game.
Twins still are behind 1-0.
Yeah.
27 hits.
Seriously. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Long season though. God, it's a long season.
Yeah.
And they've got to fix their scoring or hitting with runners in scoring position. I mean, their pitching has been performing better than we were expecting.
Their pitching will not hold up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to set aside optimistic TJ right here to be realistic TJ. Past week 4 of the season, pitching is going to just it'll be just Barrios being good, Odorizzi being adequate, and that'll be about that.
I just think like baseball is like the ultimate game of like average and the mean. Like, not to say that exciting things can't happen, but it's such a long season the way the game's structured. Like, people can go on streaks, but you're gonna come back down or come back up to the mean eventually. And so the Twins, I don't know. Like, I see them like they're off to a good start for sure, but you're talking about slow starts with like the Yankees and the Red Sox. Like, they're gonna rebound. I don't know if the Twins can keep this up.
You do kind of have to look at it as like, is like they're winning, obviously, but is what they're doing sustainable?
Yeah.
Like, they won today because they came back from being down 6-4 and won 7-6 barely
against the Royals.
against the Royals. Like, they've been leaving a lot of runners on base. Their pitching has been really good, but their pitchers are also like matching their career best games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that doesn't keep going.
It's not gonna work.
So it'll be interesting to see once we get through the first month. Like, they're starting off hot, and I like it. And I think we will be better than last season, considerably better. And we do have a chance of winning the AL Central just because the AL Central is garbage.
Hot garbage.
It's a dumpster fire.
Well, Cleveland did everything they could to make sure that they don't repeat as division champions. They're very content with being barely above just good enough, because that's kind of what you need to win the AL Central. And instead of adding pieces, like, they sold a whole bunch.
I've never
of
seen a
pieces.
team so content and complacent with like barely being better than the garbage. They're like, well, we're going to win the division. Well, you're
Yeah.
not going to win anything
You get-
past that,
yeah.
but okay.
Absolutely smoked by Boston or New York.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like that's just what happens in the AL. Like any team that's pretty good, you're just playing for the ability to get beaten by New York or Boston in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like being in the Western Conference in the NBA. Like you're just playing for the right to be beaten by Golden State. Like that's just it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's frustrating. But it's like, oh, we made the playoffs. Oh, we got swept. Okay.
Well, it's interesting to see how the AL is so much more top-heavy than the NL is. I mean, you got Boston and New York, no one from the Central, and then usually one or two teams from the West. So, a couple of years ago, it was the Stros. A couple of years before that, it was the Rangers. Right now, it's the Mariners over the past couple of years.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And so, you have like the 3 or 4 prime teams who you have to beat in order to get through. Whereas with the NL, and particularly the NL Central, but the other West and East as well, you really have no idea who's going to, really take it this season or any given season, which I don't know. Thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Y'all are looking at me like, cool. So what's the point, bro?
I agree. I mean, that's what we talked about last year when we were right before the MLB playoffs. We're like, okay, well, Boston, and then the NL, it could be any of these 7 teams. Like, could be legit any of them. And like you said, it was the same thing last year. I mean, like Boston and New York, and it was like, okay, it's going to be one of them, probably Boston. And then in the NL, it's like, let's tune in for these series because it's going to be kind of worth it to watch good baseball instead of
Actually entertaining games in the
not just
in the
even getting
postseason.
smoked. Yeah. So I don't know. And there's got to be room for growth then. I mean, if the AL is so good and so bad, well, it's got to change sometime soon, right? With all these
You would
people
think.
signing like $400 million contracts. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of been this way for the last decade or so. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of a hard trend to reverse.
Yeah. We'll see. Someone's got to change it. Might as well be the Twins, right?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Said
probably
no
not.
Twins fans ever.
I would love to be confident in the Twins, but
Minnesota
You-
sports have broken
you
you.
can't. I'm a
You've
broken
been
man.
broken down.
Speaking of being broken by teams getting swept in the playoffs,
Hey,
the Wild won't even get to be swept in the playoffs this year.
It's
They
sad.
didn't make it. They didn't make it. They
For-
didn't even make it to the first round of the play. The state of hockey is not in the hockey playoffs,
was it first time in 8 years? Is that what you said?
I believe.
It's not very good.
No, it's really not. It's really not. I'm
glad
a
you
little
agree with
upset.
me.
I'm a little
Are
upset.
you?
Like
tell.
I saw that last night it was official, and at the same time, like it became official that the Wild were not going to the playoffs. It became official that the Stars were going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I got real upset. I was really mad for about 10 minutes. Then I realized I'm like, it really doesn't matter. So I went and did something else. But
for that 10 minutes,
that's
man,
amazing.
you
I
were
was
red hot.
heated. I was heated. So the question for Q2 is what's the next step for the Wild? Where do they go from here?
Get good.
Thank you
I like
for that
that.
expert analysis.
High quality analysis.
That's all you need.
Perfect.
Well, I'm going to start with my opinion. Go ahead because
Go
I have them. They added a lot of young guys this year, which I think everything except for Rast has turned out well. Rast can go and I don't even know what he can go do. He just shouldn't play hockey.
We're
here
keeping
anymore.
this show
We-
family friendly, TJ.
Yeah, we are, Noah.
Drop one F bomb and suddenly everybody thinks you just
And
swear
suddenly
all the
you,
time.
you got to just go to prison. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
But like Rast, up until last night when he scored a goal, had the same number of points in assists and goals as Alex Stalock, our backup goalie, did. And Alex Stalock played in one less game than he did this season.
That's hilarious. Well, and then that Granlund trade, everyone was like, oh, Granlund's leaving. Oh, my God. But it turned out to be really darn good.
The two new guys we have, especially Donato, I'm a big believer in Donato. The moves we made were good. I think they were good because we got rid of extra pieces from when we built our championship team in
Remember that.
2014 with a bunch of young guys. We're like, we're gonna be good for
Mm-hmm.
a long time, and then we were like adequate for the entire time, but couldn't make it past the first round. So
Yeah.
I like those moves.
So I know we talked about this before we started recording, but do you think a new head coach is coming to town for the Wild?
I think a new head coach is coming to town. Yes, I do not think Boudreaux stays after like his peak / plateau was getting to the first round of the playoffs. And he did that so many times, and then we got smoked every time. So I don't know who it will be. I couldn't give you any speculation on that, even me, the speculative man. I couldn't tell you who it will be, but I don't think Bruce Boudreaux, the 80-year-old baby, will be in Minnesota anymore.
That's hilarious. He really does look like an 80-year-old baby.
He's a really, really old
funny.
baby. Yeah. The bald head is really round, kind of chubby. He's also 80, so.
So this could be, I don't know if you could even look this stat up, but this could possibly be a year where we have 3 new first-year coaches out of the 4 major sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a old baby. That's hilarious.
I've just pulled up a picture.
Sitting
of
at home,
Bruce
you should
Boudreaux.
really look up at a picture of Bruce Boudreaux and tell me that he doesn't look like an
Yes,
80-year-old
he's a
baby.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, new head coaches in 3 of the 4 major sports, which is
That'd be pretty
wild.
I was going to say that first. God, it's going to be funny, but took my thunder.
At least we've got Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, how could you fire that guy?
You don't fire him, he fires you. And then he fires himself.
Honestly, he probably fires himself. Like, good luck sitting down with him and saying,
Zim walks into the boardroom one day, says, I have not been good enough for this team, and then says, I'm
I
fired.
am fired. Not I quit, I am fired. He declares himself fired.
My last check will be in the mail. And he packs his desk and he
Everyone's
leaves.
just like, what the heck? Just, you're right. Yeah, he is. Okay, he's fired. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the press conference later in the day, they're like, yeah, we had to come to a tough decision. We decided to fire Mike Zimmer. And the truth can never come out
No.
that he fired himself. Like, that can't happen.
He runs the team. Like,
Slick Rick is like the queen of England at this point, where like he has the ability to like make new things happen. But besides that, he's just a figurehead.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in Zim's way. Like Anthony Barr tried to by going to the Jets, and then he got a call from coach, and oh my God, I'm so sorry I ever thought about going to the Jets. I'm sitting here. Like, dude.
I think all Zim did was call him and then describe New Jersey. And Anthony Barr was like, I can't do it. I'd rather be here.
Or just read off like 4-12, 5-11, 4-12, 3
Their
and 13.
colors are bad. And they've released new jerseys, which are also bad.
Look at their logo. Okay, come
What
on.
if it were Anthony Barr who called Mike Zimmer and was just hysterical? He was like crying. He's like, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. I don't want to go to New Jersey. Don't make me go to New Jersey, coach.
That could happen too. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be crying if I had to go to New Jersey.
On
I think
purpose.
you're choosing to go there.
Yeah.
There's a reason that everyone decides to go to Minnesota, which is like winter is the most miserable thing you could experience unless you're in North Dakota. But, like, and everyone chooses to go here over New Jersey because New Jersey is that bad.
Yeah. One, I think it's just the Jets.
Yeah,
in general,
it's that too.
too.
I mean, your 2 options are the Jets and the Giants. Both of them play in Jersey. A, B, and neither of them are
Both
good.
of them are going to be bad.
Very
Giants going to
bad.
be real bad.
Very okay. Well, remember when we said that about other teams last year? And
Okay.
then that,
Like the Bears.
like the Bears.
Yeah.
And I remember when I said that the Bears were going to go 4-12 and be the worst team in the NFC. Remember when I said that?
You had them at 4-12?
Remember when I said that?
I had them
think
at 4-12
I think
too.
I might have had them at 3-13. Actually, I was like, they have no pieces.
Well, and
Mitch Trubisky is the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
Then the
And
Raiders were
suddenly-
like, here you go.
Hey,
Who do you want? Who do
Hold
you
my
want?
beer. Hold my beer. I'm going to be the worst team.
Yeah, seriously.
And now, okay, we're going to talk about this in our Q4. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I have
Sorry.
things to say about the Raiders too. Q3, I'm not even going to bother segue, and we're just going to go right into it.
I like it.
We have
Change it up.
Final Four hosted here in Was it? Is it being hosted in Minneapolis?
Yeah, it's at US
Okay.
Bank
US
Stadium.
Bank, yeah.
Us Bank.
Yeah, it's Minneapolis. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're in St. Paul, but we claim it as our own. Either way, Final Four are here.
We're like halfway between Minneapolis and St. Paul. Like we're technically in, but like
We're like basically on the bridge.
That's true. Yeah, I lived in Minneapolis last year. Technically,
how was it?
wasn't as good.
It wasn't very good. So
Yeah.
we have Texas Tech, surprising. Auburn, surprising.
Yep.
Michigan State.
Not surprising.
I think surprising just in and of the fact that they beat Duke to get here.
That's
and
fair.
then Virginia, not surprising. You know who is the most not surprising of all the not surprisings? Gonzaga for not winning. Because Gonzaga does this thing where they win a lot. They're like a better Wichita State, you know? They play barely anyone. They do really well. They get a 1 seed, or they're like, oh my gosh, this team's undefeated. They're so good. And then they lose. They always lose. I've picked Gonzaga like 3 times in my life to win it all. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so good. They're the number 1 seed. Oh my gosh. They suck in the tournament. To put it lightly, they're terrible.
Never pick a team whose colors are blue and white to win the national championship. Everyone who was betting on Duke this year, they should have known. They're blue and white. They're not going to do anything.
Well,
Not going to make it.
does North Carolina count as blue and white?
Yeah.
Does Villanova count as
Yeah.
blue and white?
I feel like
Haven't
you're
these
accounting
teams
for
won?
a lot of championships.
I know they
there.
win a lot of
Yeah.
championships, and I know that
Kentucky,
you just.
blue
I
and
was,
white.
I was
Kansas,
specifically
blue and white.
I was specifically
I
just
mean,
thinking about Gonzaga.
You're not
and
supposed
Duke.
to extrapolate with historical data, guys.
Sorry.
No, the
You're
only-
ruining TJ's perfect
Read,
analogy.
like,
My
every
analysis was
championship ever. in
Seriously.
college
Okay,
basketball, yeah.
I'll refine my statement. Teams that are have the colors blue and white and are called Gonzaga or Duke.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You should never bet on them. Never.
Yeah.
I feel
Even
like
and everyone knew Duke was going to lose when they're like any team this is the most heavily favored team since the last team that was heavily favored that also lost.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like it's kind of cool that they lost just because now everyone's like, wait a second, who do we focus on? You know, because like everything was on Duke. Zion Williamson is, oh my gosh, so good. But like they lost to Michigan State. And Michigan State's, they're a good team, right? But they should not have lost. If you look at the physical ability, talent, and just like sheer athleticism from Michigan State compared to Duke, Duke should have won by 20, you know? But like that's what it's been the last, minus the Tyus Jones year. So it's been the last like 5 years with Duke. They've been there and they've been in the spot, but it's like, oh, we lost to a 15 seed, or oh, we lost this game. And they just, when's the last time they won? Minus Tyus Jones year. Because that was my freshman year here.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Other than that, I don't know. I think it's been a while.
It's been
keep
research.
vamping. I gotta look it up. Keep
We're
vamping.
waiting for your computer to run, Noah.
But what's his face from Auburn? Bruce Pearl? Is that his name? The really sweaty guy?
I
The
think
coach?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to coach at
really
Tennessee.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's back in the Final Four. That's kind of cool. Update?
2009, 2010.
Okay,
season.
so 10 years ago.
Gosh. For a team that's like supposedly one of the best in basketball, 3 championships in 10 years? I guess that's actually pretty good. I'm
That's
not.
quite
no, it's
good.
two
No,
championships.
one.
I thought
Are
they
we talking
won.
about Duke? They only won once with Tyus Jones.
09, 010. Or
010.
09, 10.
Yeah.
So in the last 10 years, they've had 2.
They've had two. Okay.
Yeah.
Before that,
Okay.
the last one was in 2000.
Dude,
Oof.
I don't know.
It's weird that they're like focused on as
Yeah.
like this storied program.
And they've won 3 times in the last 20 years, which granted is really good. But still at the same
But
time.
there are other teams
they're
that
like
do
this,
that.
Yeah. They're like this team that's how many okay, I'm sorry to put you on the you have your computer out. So,
Yeah.
How many has North Carolina won in the last 20 years?
Give me a second.
Sorry.
Keep vamping.
I don't know. I think it'll be fun to watch. I love March basketball. It's awesome.
Who's your pick?
Michigan State. I love Tom Izzo. I am obsessed with Tom Izzo.
As
Yes.
the resident blue and gold fan here,
Oh, what?
I
Why?
also have to pick Michigan State.
Okay.
I'm actually
All right.
pulling for. I want the Big Ten to take one home.
That'd
I
be
want
cool.
them to have
That'd
it.
be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like Tom.
I love Tom Izzo. My favorite
As
college
hate
coach.
as much as I hate to admit it,
Oh,
I
dude.
love him.
I love when Whenever he gets mad, I just see like a little garden gnome just pointing at like the dog in the yard, you know? Like what he did to that freshman a couple games. He just got right in his face and he's shaking his finger and he's just, his veins are popping out of his head and his
The man's
face
gonna
is just
die
red.
one day from just being mad.
God.
Like he's gonna wake up in the morning, he's gonna drop his coffee pot and it's gonna break, and he's gonna be like, and he's gonna like
explode.
have a heart palpitation.
Oh my God. Update?
So North Carolina has had 3 championships in the last 15 years: 2005, 2009, and 2017.
Okay. So, well, I guess Duke is kind of more on par than I thought.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think just the way the tournament's set up, it's incredibly hard to win. Like
Oh,
as a
yeah.
1 seed, just the way it's structured. So the fact that they've been able to do multiple in a decade is really, really good already.
How many has Syracuse won?
Oh my goodness.
Because I picked Syracuse to win this year, and
nice.
that was a very bad decision
lost.
on my
They
part.
did not
Yeah,
do that.
round 2.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Would you say their team got hit by a proverbial car? Or is that too soon? Didn't Jim Boeheim, like, kill a dude with his car?
I don't know. I didn't hear about
Didn't you see that?
No.
I'm pretty sure he did.
What's his name?
What?
Jim,
They've also only
When?
won once, 2003.
yeah,
Oh,
idiot.
gosh. When? When did this
Jim
happen?
Boeheim. Boheim? Boeheim?
I think so.
Anyone? Yeah, he definitely 100%
Yeah.
killed a guy a couple weeks ago.
Jim
my God.
Boeheim.
Weeks ago.
February 22nd or 21st of this year, Jim Boeheim struck and killed a man with his car.
There you go.
The police say.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Also, that's just a
What?
weird headline.
I had no idea that was
That's the
that
type
was
of
a
team
thing.
you pick. No, it's a total accident, and he was like felt really bad, but just kind of
Oh my
trying to make a
gosh.
joke.
I hope
so.
so.
That got really dark in here really
Yeah.
quick. That
Wow.
mood lighting.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be cool. It's here in Minneapolis. I wonder how. What were you guys at the St. Thomas game that was at U.S. Bank or no?
I was not.
I
I
was
didn't
not
get
able
to
to
be
be there
able
either.
to.
Okay, I was gonna wonder like how does basketball look in there? Like, are you
Supposedly it looks
a
pretty sweet.
million miles away from the court, or is
They
it?
put out like bleachers on the side of the court,
Oh,
like
good.
to
Okay.
extend it down onto, like so you can still be courtside.
And what they did with St. Thomas and River Falls, because it's a much smaller crowd, they actually put the court on one side of the field, so it wasn't like right in the center.
Oh,
they
okay.
moved it up to like where the one end zone would be, and then wrapped around.
They gotta just host an entire tournament of basketball, college basketball. Host like the entire round of 32 on one stadium. Have 4 games going at a time.
Do you know how
And
hectic
just
that
do
would
it
be?
like
my
all in a
gosh.
day.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you know how dope
All right, you're
that would
starting
be?
at 6 a.m. and you're playing at 10:30 at night.
Gosh, like I don't know if any of you have been to like state wrestling or something where they have like 3 matches going on at the same time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like something like that where it's a madhouse for 16 hours of the day.
Well, that's I
Oh
mean
my
like
gosh.
weekend basketball tournaments. You hear a whistle and everyone stops. No, keep going. That was the other court. That was the other court. There's like 5 games going on at once, and every time a buzzer goes off, people, oh crap. Oh no, we got a minute left. Keep going. It's, oh my gosh, just crazy. That'd be really funny.
I think we should do it.
Well,
I'm gonna
Send
submit
a
this
letter.
proposal to the NCAA. I'm like, hey, I know that all the teams traveling to one central location would probably be really expensive, and that you wouldn't make nearly as much on ticket sales for the day, but it would be really cool.
overlooking those
So,
2 small things that
So,
you probably
like,
don't care about. At
you
all.
have to balance your finances. Okay, whatever.
Small
With
details, small
something being really cool. And
with
I
something
think
that TJ thinks is really
something being really cool really outweighs the small $1 million financial burden that they would
sure.
put on themselves from that. I think it's a genius move, and I'm not going to accept anything else as an answer.
Who do you think is going to win? Anyone here?
Who do I think is
Who
going
do
to
you? No, let's go. Who do you want to win? Who do you want to win?
Nick, for you, that'd probably be pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, well, and it's the same answer on both accounts. Like, I want Michigan State to win, and I think they are going to win. I think certainly in the Duke game, I think they're at the whole tournament. Like, they've shown that, I mean, Tom Izzo's teams, they always play great defense. They're always tough in the paint. And I think having an experienced point guard like Cassius, I think that makes all the difference as well. You're able to do a lot more with maybe less talented pieces around you if you've got a point guard that can see the court like he does and make plays happen. And, you know, I don't see that level of point guard play throughout any other teams left. And so I think that gives MSU a huge edge.
Go green.
Go white.
That was cute.
Those are two different colors. I don't know if
that. They're green and white, TJ.
I know this.
Gosh, you and your colors today.
Well, he is colorblind. Can't see green.
Well,
That's why I hate Michigan State so much, is because I can't see their colors.
It's just gray.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at you. But that's kind of funny.
That was insensitive, and I apologize.
You should.
Well,
Sorry.
I think their national championship was last week. Honestly, Michigan State. Like, I think that's the toughest game that they'll play.
Yeah.
Were you on
absolutely.
campus when that happened, Nick?
Yeah, I was.
What was that like?
I mean, we have a nice tradition of couch burning at MSU after important wins, and so you bet like
Classy. I love it.
Grand River Avenue, man. You get your couches out and set them on fire.
Do
pretty
students
intense.
just have like a supply of couches that
Apparently,
they're able to use?
I was talking with one of my professors about it, and I don't know where they're getting all these couches, but they find them and they burn them.
Well, TJ and I were leaving the St. Thomas campus the other day. There's just a couch sitting out by one of the dorm
I
halls.
was really
It's like-
tempted to grab it.
Yeah. One of the legs is
Yes.
broken, but
But
I
now
imagine that
it's
would have been
just-
perfect for burning.
Yeah,
Looked like a
that's-
pretty decent couch. Do you
That's
just
firefighter right there, man.
How does that start? Like, how does something like that?
I'm assuming most of
Begin.
them are not sober. I can't imagine
I
a
would
sober
imagine.
person saying, "Oh, hey, I'm excited. My team won. I'm gonna go set a
Let's
couch on fire."
Can you imagine my surprise? I'm like a grad student, my first year last year, like removed to a certain extent from like, you know, the main tradition social life on campus. I'm like going to the grocery store or something, and there's just a couch on fire on the way. Like, yeah, that's how I was introduced to that tradition.
Did you have to like Google it or something? Like, why is
No,
there a couch?
You ask around and you find out that's.
I'm
that's
Googling
what
it
we
right
do.
now.
That's what we do.
Couches on fire at Michigan. I've never heard of that before. That's interesting.
Are couches the only thing that are set on fire?
I hope so. I cannot confirm that, but I would hope that it's limited to couches there.
I Google Michigan State couch burning, and the first like news article that comes up, the headline is MSU couch burning after Penn State upset was the largest since 2013. Which insinuates a couple of things. A, they're measuring the largeness of the couch burning.
Yep.
B, like it's not an unusual thing. The only thing that's unusual is that it was bigger than the last time it was really big.
And that was in 2013.
Yeah.
Also, how do you measure couch fires? Is it
Yeah,
by
that's-
size, by
Well,
girth?
How would you measure?
Oh, that's a terrible word.
This is a real weighty fire. Thick.
Yeah, last year's couch burning was it was extra thick. I'm telling you.
Like 3 C's thick.
Before Saturday night's upset win over Penn State, it had been roughly 5 years since a Michigan State win prompted a large-scale fire.
So
It
what
had been
is that
5
like?
years since
Like 10 square miles, or is that like just the block?
Yeah,
close
they had to rebuild the
1,000
campus.
fans headed outside to stand around bonfires of burning furniture. 15 people were subsequently arrested, including a dozen students.
All of them blew a .45 after the upset. I don't know if I'm just stupid for thinking this, but I was thinking like couches, just like someone brought a couch in front of their house and just lit it on fire. I wasn't thinking people threw couches together and lit them all on fire. I don't know why, but I was
just
just
one-
imagining like going down Cretan and just seeing like couch,
random
another
couches
couch.
in
Yeah.
That's absolutely what I was imagining.
Just a single lonely couch in the middle of Summit
I
Avenue.
know, yeah, like that's
There is a Wikipedia page dedicated to the Michigan State University student riots. They have 1999, 1998, 2005, 2013, and 2019. We're going to look at March 31st, 2019, because that just happened.
That was 3 days ago.
yeah.
Students on campus celebrated after the MSU men's basketball team defeated top overall seed Duke in the NCAA tournament to reach the Final Four. At Cedar Village, bonfires were lit in the parking lot, and a chair was burned, resulting in multiple arrests.
Wow.
A chair was burned.
A chair.
I want to
So-
know more about this chair.
There was like this
Special
bonfire
chair.
happening, and some guys like, "Oh, we used to burn chairs." So he's like, "I've got a chair."
Let's light it on fire.
sitting there at the bonfire. So I was like, "This is missing something. Anybody got a chair? You got 5 hands that go up."
Yeah.
Some guy's like, "I've got mine right here."
Gosh, Michigan State turns into Philadelphia when they win, doesn't it?
Yeah. See, there's parallels here. I'm an Eagles fan myself. There's just something that draws me to the nature of those places.
Wait.
That's what I like.
How is that a thing?
What?
Hang on a
For
second.
context, he's pointing at Noah and Nick, riffing on the fact that Noah is a
Well,
diehard Cowboys fan
see-
and that Nick is a diehard Philadelphia fan,
Yeah.
making them blood enemies.
Thank you for that context.
Important, very important detail. We grew up not in a very strong football household, and also in St. Louis. And so as far as football fandom, and this was we were coming into football age post Kurt Warner's Super Bowl years, right?
Right.
And so it's just that
Near the
wasn't-
Jeff Fisher years.
Yeah, yeah. it
Oh,
wasn't-
good years.
Anything past 2004 Mark Bulger was just sad.
Yeah.
Really, really,
Yeah.
really
yeah,
sad.
it was upsetting.
Yeah.
And we decided to explore elsewhere for our football fandom. I think Noah has maybe, if you want to have a valid reason for choosing what
I'm not sure-
colors to don.
I'm not sure if it's more valid, but it's just at least it on the surface makes more sense because our grandma is a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. You know,
okay.
she when she started watching football, it was late 60s, early 70s when the Cowboys were going on their first initial Super Bowl runs. And so when I first started watching football, she had a game on. I think it was 2008, 2009. Romo's kind of golden years, his first kind of golden period. And it was fun. And so that's where I got my Cowboys fandom from.
Yeah, and I caught, I believe it was 08, maybe 09. I happened to catch an Eagles-Steelers game on TV, decided I liked Donovan McNabb.
Everyone liked Donovan.
Yeah.
McNabb,
And that
yeah.
group, everyone did not like Donovan McNabb.
It's funny. The only people I've met who have not liked Donovan McNabb are Eagles fans.
Exactly. And it's Donovan McNabb, I fully support McNabb. He's he was one of my favorite Eagles quarterbacks.
Remember when he played for the Vikings?
I was just going to mention that.
We're not going to talk about that. Okay? It's just-
I think I saw him in the airport.
yeah. No, I maintain that we saw him at the airport when he was coming in to sign. But yeah. So anyway, decided I liked McNabb, and that grew into a diehard Eagles fandom before they won their Super Bowl. I always feel like I have to add that caveat, especially now that they won the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago. It's I've never lived in Philadelphia, never had any family from Philadelphia, but I'm not a bandwagon fan.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah,
with
that's
them
fair.
through
He was
the worst of the worst.
He was with them during the Dream Team.
Yeah,
Oh,
dream team.
Dream team.
Once Chip Kelly went psycho dictator, I was with him through all that. With him through all that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I accept that.
I'm just really glad you didn't choose the Steelers that day. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Well, now they're garbage.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
but
bad this year.
just in terms of really not great, ugly teams.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Washington at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I'd put Pittsburgh right
Well,
there
and
with
to be
them.
honest, I feel like Pittsburgh, Dallas, even though that's rooted in, not recent NFL history, is a little more of a rival than even Eagles, Dallas. They're division rivals, but as far as division rivalries go, that's not really the big one that people talk
No.
about. They're not talking about Eagles, Dallas, at least not much anymore.
Right. I mean, you got Cowboys, Washington, I think is the really big one. Eagles, Giants for a little bit, right after, Miracle at the Meadowlands 2. That was kind of big. But now, the Giants are just sad.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to go back to the Cunningham and the labor dispute and the strike was one of the last huge heated Eagles Cowboys moments. It's not something we outside of having our little division rivalry and wanting our team to take the division year, and it's not like it's a huge rivalry outside of that.
I enjoy watching the Eagles. I really like Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are a good team. I don't know. There's just something about
You
them.
just hate them with a
no,
burning
I don't. That's the thing. I do not hate the Eagles.
Yeah.
And
see, for all
I
my
might
talk,
be-
I will not admit any of that about the Dallas Cowboys. I will not say anything good about the Dallas Cowboys.
And I'm okay with that. I'll be the bigger person here.
Before we move officially to football as our last quarter, I'm looking through the notes on the bottom of this Wikipedia page. Found something very interesting.
Are we still the Michigan State thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back on Michigan State riots. Okay.
Yes.
Most recent riot, March 31st, 2019, is when they beat Duke in the Final Four. The biggest riot at Michigan State was 20 years and 3 days before. In 1999,
Oh, no way.
when Michigan State lost to Duke in the Final Four.
Wow.
Weird. So they were just
Yeah.
pissed off.
Yeah.
Then.
They were just mad.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? I'm gonna see.
It's-
That makes more sense than a
It's
celebratory.
the same outlet. You know, you vent
Damages
emotions,
ranged.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Taco Dave. There's a man named Taco Dave here.
That's wonderful.
The Taco Bell night shift manager in East Lansing in
Taco
1999.
Oh God, Taco.
That is
And
beautiful.
Taco Dave gave a statement.
This is so many of my
There were
favorite things in like one sentence.
10,000 students involved, up to
Holy
near
smokes.
$500,000 worth of damage
Wow.
in the 1999 riot.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
That
love
is that
that.
is true Philadelphia
Yeah.
In
like,
Michigan.
style.
Yeah.
Like
in Michigan.
It's on my
yes.
bucket list now. Burn some sort of household furniture in East Lansing.
want to do it the first time a podcast of ours gets more than like 20 plays. We just go to Michigan
Sure.
and then burn a
Absolutely.
couch.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys to finish this. I'm just gonna go to every device that I have and play one of our episodes. Just put it on repeat. So if y'all want to buy the couch, I'll meet you out in Michigan.
We'll just
Well, there's
use
a
the
free
one.
couch. Get some lighter fluid and have a good time.
Okay, we are going to move to football now because we've ventured into football in each conversation we've had so
Yeah,
far.
Indeed.
All right, NFL draft is coming up. Raiders have 84,000 picks in it. What are your guys' thoughts on the upcoming draft and the upcoming season in general?
I think two of the most interesting teams to look at right now are the Raiders and the Cardinals. The Raiders because this is kind of a make or break season for them where John Gruden, this is what they've been leading up to. I mean, all the trades, the Khalil Mack deal has been leading up to this for John Gruden to build his own team. And if he messes this up, he will never be able to set foot in Oakland again. But if he does this right.
You mean once his 10-year contract is up? After that, he won't be able to.
Right. No, I wouldn't be surprised if Oakland ran him out. Well, I mean, they won't be in Oakland anymore. They'll be in Las Vegas.
Is that
so.
not this?
That's
upcoming year, but
2020.
Next, so the year after this.
They're gonna have like
upcoming
no
Yeah.
one at their games this year.
Yeah.
Like, 0 people.
Yeah. And then the Cardinals, only because, what's going to happen with Josh Allen and Kyler Murray.
Yeah. No, and like number 1 pick. There's always intrigue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if they do draft Kyler Murray, where does Josh Allen go?
Yeah. I've heard like.
They're going to have Josh Allen, the veteran quarterback, mentor
You mean,
Kyler Murray.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen, yes.
Rosen.
Not-
Oh, Josh
Allen
Allen's
is with the
still in
Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Did we do this last time too?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Josh Allen just feels like a more
Yeah.
Arizona
I've
name.
I've
I don't
heard, from my great NFL sources, of course, potential links to the Patriots being maybe interested in a Rosen trade.
that
That
trade
seems
Tom
like-
Brady for Rosen straight up.
straight up,
That's
one
it.
for one.
That's it.
Also heard
That's
that there might be Washington involved in that too, just
Oh,
because
that's-
all of their
that's-
quarterbacks died.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate for both Washington and Josh
Josh
Rosen.
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can't tell. Like the Cardinals, certainly in the past couple days too, have been linking themselves potentially to like Nick Bosa and stuff a little more. Whether that's like a smokescreen to try and drive up like intrigue, get someone to trade up. I'm of the belief that it is. I think they're absolutely going for a quarterback just from what I know of Kingsbury coming in. I think Murray's their guy. I just think they're trying to kind of do their due diligence and get as much value for the pick potentially, and just scare some other teams in the process.
Well, I mean, like, I've heard so many comparisons with Kyler Murray to the likes of Russell Wilson,
Yep.
right? So, seeing what Russell Wilson did, not single-handedly, of course, but like made Seattle not laughable. Like post Sean Alexander, and he's been a great quarterback
absolutely.
for the past however long he's been there, right? And he's been solid, and he's one of those guys who he's not gonna like. No one's gonna talk about him, especially this last year. It was like, wait a second, the Seahawks?
Yeah.
They're actually what? Like they're actually okay? Like what's
Yeah.
going on? So I don't know. I think Kyler Murray has a very high ceiling, but
Yeah.
it's also kind of dangerous to say Russell Wilson-esque
Oh,
because then
absolutely.
it's like
Absolutely.
a lot of pressure on this kid coming out of college.
Yep.
Favorite news story that came out about the Arizona Cardinals came out on Monday after Cliff Kingsbury and Sean McVay had dinner together. Okay?
Okay.
And this is a real story. This is on the Arizona Cardinals website. I'm getting this information.
Okay.
This is the April Fool's one, right?
This is the April Fool's one. Sean McVay got dinner at Cliff Kingsbury's house. Okay, they were eating together, having a good time. They're friends. And Sean McVay changed one of his buddy's contacts in his phone to say Roger Goodell and had him text him while he was at Cliff Kingsbury's house. And the text that he had him send was from, quote, Roger Goodell. I can't believe you're at dinner with Kingsbury and Mahomes. You know better than this. This is tampering, and you're both losing picks. And then he showed that text to Cliff Kingsbury.
Wow.
And it's very possible that he almost died.
Yeah, I bet. Like, oh,
He-
wait, no.
hilarious.
He was like about to call his GM and say, like, we lost our number one. We lost our first overall.
I'm so sorry. This dinner wasn't worth it. That's hilarious. That is funny. So Sean McVay pulled that off, or is that
Sean McVay pulled it off.
Wow.
Yeah. So the
He's a
man
smart dude.
is like, I had this discussion with someone the other day of like, Sean McVay is essentially like the perfect guy. Of
That's fair to
he's
say.
rich, he's attractive, he's a coach in the NFL, he's winning a lot, and now we can pull off pranks.
Yeah.
Like how
can't
is
he
anyone
do?
else supposed to compete?
And what is he? He's what, 18 years old, 19 years old.
I think he became an adult this year. So
Okay.
he's
he
18
could buy
now.
cigarettes now. And, yeah.
Still can't drink though.
No.
No, not yet. Not yet. Which is probably good for him.
Yeah.
Also on the Russell Wilson train,
Mm-hmm.
he is expected to want a new contract before the next season begins. And there's talk that it might very possibly end up Russell Wilson will now be the highest paid player in NFL history.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is the current? Is it Aaron Rodgers?
I believe it is Aaron Rodgers.
Or
yes.
is it still Matt Ryan's disgustingly stupid deal? Or remember when Eli Manning got that huge deal? Oh, my goodness.
Well, really, at this point, it's just what is the most recent franchise quarterback to have signed a contract?
Oh,
extension.
absolutely.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Right now, it's Aaron Rodgers with
Yeah,
$76 million.
yeah.
And then behind him, is it Matt Ryan?
It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's right. Jimmy Garoppolo is the
Oh,
second
yes.
highest paid player in the NFL, and
And
he's
he
played a
snapped his
total of
leg in
like
half.
10 games.
Yeah.
In his
Oh no,
career.
sorry, it is Matt Ryan. Then Jimmy Garoppolo at 3.
Still.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he's out there.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, $75.9 million over the life of the contract. Matt Ryan, 57.5. Jimmy Garoppolo at 43.1.
Whenever I think about the Kirk Cousins deal and I get a little bit angry about it, I always remember that Jimmy Garoppolo is making more money than he is.
Yeah. And that justifies it.
Yeah.
Just because Kirk Cousins didn't die this year like Jimmy
Exactly.
Garoppolo did.
Like,
so.
we still have the quarterback we're playing for, so at least it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Alex Smith is the 6th highest on that
Oh,
list.
Speaking of people who have died. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Like the top 5 kind of makes sense. You got Aaron Rodgers, then Matt Ryan, then Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, I guess, like,
Yeah.
I can see it. Then you got Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And then Alex Smith at 6.
Yikes.
Kirk Cousins doesn't even scratch the top 5. This deal was fine.
Well, what about, didn't Matthew Stafford get,
Yeah, it
What
was a couple years ago.
at
He
the
got
time
like,
was
it
the
was
highest paid?
2013, the year that the Lions went 0-16, I believe, is like the year after he got the massive. No,
That
it was more recent
because
than
they
that.
had Sean
Johnson
Hill was their quarterback
Yeah,
for that.
because they never.
Sean,
Because that's what
God.
got them Stafford.
Yeah,
was
'cause-
their own 16.
Yeah, 'cause
Sean
Stafford
Hill,
was
I
drafted
remember
in
him.
09, and it was 07, 08. No, sorry, 08, 09 that they went 0-16.
What happened in 2013? Were they
mean,
just really bad?
they're the Lions, so possibly like
Yeah, that's
not-
true.
Yeah.
Why does that stick out in my mind for
2013?
I don't know why that's the present. They went 7-9. That was an average year for them. Why is 2013 the year I think of
Ah, you're
with
weird.
the Wild or the Lions?
What? Oh, my
What?
God.
Wait.
It's
who
late.
who was on the Men 13 cover?
Oh, it was Calvin Johnson.
There you go.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
Oh,
That's why.
That's why.
That's why.
wow,
That's,
great memory.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't like that.
Speaking of young dudes who retired, do we think that
We weren't
The
speaking
Gronk-
of that at all.
what are you
Abe.
talking about? We're talking about Calvin Johnson. We were
Yeah.
talking about the
He
Lions.
was younger.
Calvin Johnson
He
came up.
retired young.
I was waiting
I
for
can
Calvin
follow.
Johnson
Okay,
to come
all
up.
right, okay.
Yeah.
Gronk retiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just gonna
Um,
absolutely party his face off until he dies.
Here's
in
a
10
stat
years,
for you.
right?
Over his career,
Mhm.
average touchdowns per game. You know it's going to be 0.69.
Is it? Of course.
Of course it
I was
is.
That's
like,
what
wait,
did it. He
6.9
knew he
is way
had
too
to
high.
retire.
Yeah.
Like,
Right there.
like there is not a player, Gronk is just so Gronk that
Yes.
everything he does, even when you aren't expecting it to be like retirement. Retirement shouldn't be a weird joke. But Gronk made it one somehow, which is just wild.
He is a 15-year-old guy in a 30 whatever, 20 whatever, however old he is.
I think
body.
he's right at 30.
Is he 30?
29,
He-
29, 30.
He's
Yeah.
so incredibly immature.
Yeah.
And
So
so
immature.
isn't he really stupid? I thought I read something where they're they had to simplify their plays to give to him because he couldn't understand them. Tom Brady's up, he's got 3 plays called and he's killing one and he's audibling and he's doing whatever to the other, and then it's he feel like he has to turn to Gronk. Gronk, run a curl. Okay, good.
It's
That's the thing.
honestly wild to me that Tom Brady, possibly the most intelligent person to play the sport,
Second intelligent, yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Thank
it's Omaha.
you. Omaha. Anyway,
But Tom Brady, very smart in regards to football, at least. Gronk is just kind of dumb all around, and the fact that both of them have combined to become that
oh yeah.
dynamic duo is insane to me, because I can't imagine that Tom Brady has the patience to deal with Gronk.
Exactly.
In practice, and they're like, all right, go 96 buff curl wheel. And Tom is like, Gronk, did you catch that? He's like, what? He's like,
Although
Okay.
I'm imagining that Gronk, or that Tom would do that, and he'd get real frustrated, and then it's the defense knew exactly what Gronk was going to do. And he had 3 guys over him, and he still makes the catch. It's okay,
Yeah,
the
well, that's
defense
just
will know
so-
what's going to happen,
yeah.
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just so
hard to
purely
be
athletic.
frustrated, when he's blowing up a defense. Easily the greatest tight end in league history. It's not even really close. He may not have the career numbers because he retired early,
Yeah.
but all of his pace numbers and just watching him play, there was no one like him.
Well, he was
is-
an incredibly underrated blocker too. Just his
Yes,
all-around game
yes,
was
he's one of the best
fantastic.
blockers, yeah. Yeah.
He's the Brett Favre of tight ends in that he doesn't know jack about how the sport actually works. He's just good at doing what people tell him to.
Yeah, I mean, he was dominant. It was
Yeah.
how do you guard him?
You don't.
Linebackers
You
are too
can't.
slow,
Yeah.
and safeties are too small.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
Put Daniil Hunter on him.
Yeah, or just hope he's got a broken back for that stretch of games where you play him or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's about it. I want to talk Raiders for a moment.
Okay.
Do we have expectations for the Raiders? Because I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to be good. I don't want them to be, but I'm a little bit concerned that they will be.
I think they can be,
Yeah,
definitely.
The Raiders are either going to be really good or they're going to be a garbage fire. They're going to absolutely suck. There's no in between here. I don't think that.
I don't know if I'm ready for a worst to first scenario, though. I don't know
I
if
don't think that's going to happen.
I would not say first. Certainly, I mean, we got to see who they draft and what their plan is for those draft picks, and obviously how they turn out their rookie year, because that's replacing some pretty key positions that they traded away last year. But I mean, I think it all falls on who they have at quarterback, if they are going to stick with Derek Carr. If he is able to turn it around. I mean, you gave him Antonio Brown. He's pretty good from what I hear.
He's all right.
Yeah.
he's all right.
Yeah, or if they go in another direction, what they get in return for Derek Carr, if they can trade him, and who's under center. But in this league, the quarterback makes or breaks your team. And so they can put all the pieces. They can get a nice new franchise left tackle, a wide receiver, get some defensive pieces in the draft. But if Derek Carr is able to progress with that, then the Raiders, kind of do or die by Derek Carr, in my opinion.
The quarterback makes or breaks your team, and Derek Carr will kind of sort of stand in the way.
Maybe do it.
I'm surprised at him. I mean, he had, I don't know, what is it, like 3 or 4 years ago where he was outstanding.
Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yep. Really good.
One of the best.
Well,
And then he's
Blake
just-
Bortles had one really good year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a fantastic
Remember
point.
when Blake Bortles was good? Remember that?
Well, that's the thing. No one thought he was good. He just had a good year, right? And
Yeah.
even as it was happening, it's like
This is
isn't-
weird.
This isn't really. No, that's not you.
This isn't really happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think the move to Vegas will be? I mean, it's hard to compare them to like the NHL, but like, do you think that the move to Vegas for the Golden Knights or the creation in Vegas was hugely successful, right? Like sports wise and like franchise wise too.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be? Because like they had so many diehard Oakland fans, but at the same time, who wants to go live in or around Oakland? You know what I mean? Like.
I think what they're trading is they're going to lose the diehard fan base. There
Right.
will be no diehard Raiders fans anymore.
Yeah.
What they're gaining is the casual sports bettor who wants to go to a game while they're in Vegas.
Yeah, I see that.
And you're going to, because it's a business decision, they're going to make money. Like, they're going to have a full stadium. They're not going to have the fan base that is do or die with them all the time, but they're going to make money.
And
It's
that's
Rams
why-
and Chargers all over
Yeah,
again.
and that's part of why I think there's an additional benefit to the Antonio Brown move. Like, there are risks in how things kind of fell apart in Pittsburgh, but he'll put butts in the seats. For
Absolutely.
a team that doesn't have a loyal fan base, having star power like that is super important for them, especially like from what I've heard. Like, as far as NFL franchises go, like they don't have the insane amount of money to work with that the other franchises do, and so I've heard that potentially a reason for like the Khalil Mack move, they were just worried they couldn't afford him, if he's coming around for his big contract extension, and so they have to find any way to like get people in, generate money, especially moving at a kind of fragile time like that.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a big season for him then.
Yeah.
Like to get those people interested,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
if you go
Absolutely.
3-13, it's like, oh well, I'm not going to that.
Yep. Yep.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
I have
It's
very
gonna be
low
interesting.
expectations, but whatever.
low expectations, but
Yeah.
expectations
I think cautiously
nonetheless.
optimistic would be
More
my-
expectations
Yeah.
than I have
Yeah.
for, say, the Cardinals
Yes,
Well,
or the
duh.
Giants
Yeah.
I would agree.
or the
I would
Jets.
absolutely agree.
But not as high of expectations as we have for the Browns.
That's correct. That's nothing short of Super Bowl champions. Oh God.
Good old Browns.
The Browns. The Brownies.
I think we've exhausted everything we wanted to talk about today.
I think we have.
I think so too.
Great.
Was
What-
this as long as last time?
No,
No.
not quite. We're right around an hour.
Oh.
We ran real long last time.
Yeah.
We were just really excited and hadn't
Rambling.
talked in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll be back. And
You're assuming
some-
that
at
people are
some point.
listening.
hey, I
Other
checked the
than
stats.
us or our family members.
Okay, I don't know that.
How many people listened to our last episode?
Last episode, I think we had about 25.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Big numbers.
Couch burning in Michigan.
I
We're
think-
gonna
yeah.
go burn a couch. Let's go. I'm gonna check before we sign off. I'm checking the stats right now. We're gonna see if anyone other than me listening on repeat, because I definitely have done that.
Beef up the numbers. I'm very scared to tell my students about this.
Please
I
don't
don't-
ever do that.
No, I want to be like, I feel like it might come up in casual conversation
Yeah.
one day, but also like, I don't like. How have I incriminated myself in these past episodes? Like, what have I said too?
I don't think you said anything real bad. I'm the one who dropped the F-bomb last
Well, that
episode accidentally.
happens. That happens. I didn't
put
even
the
know that you
Oh,
did
sorry.
that.
Our last episode is 14 plays.
Oh, man.
So no couch burning, except all the other ones have more than 20. So
Okay.
couch burning.
Wow.
4 of
So
them, I
it's
guess.
on.
So does that mean we're burning 4 couches?
Yeah.
I think so.
Couch. We have to burn a couch each time an episode gets more than 20 plays, which means I'm just going to listen to
Sad, isn't it? Oh,
We're not
boy.
doing this for listeners. We're
That's
doing
true.
it because I needed an outlet to talk about sports.
And here's just our word dump
all
of
of
our
my
stupid-
roommates got too tired of me doing it in our living room, so I decided to still do it in the living room, but now do it here too.
And then you have the Q4 playing in the living room while you're talking about sports, and they just get it from both sides.
Perfect.
I should memorize the episodes and just talk along with it.
Put like a half-second delay.
Yeah. Oh.
God. Be as cringy as your
Memorize
ASMR.
what the other people say,
Yeah,
so it's
talk
just
with
you
yourself. Yeah,
talking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'd listen to that.
So would
Good.
I.
We got 1, 2 listeners.
I wouldn't.
If I listened to that 25 times, we'd have to
Burn a
some
couch.
couches.
Come out and visit you and burn a couch in your front yard.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've burned a couple couches in my time.
How is that?
Is that like a joke? Or
No, I have. I have burned several couches. Not in riots, but I've burned couches before.
why?
Had to get rid of them somehow.
Garbage?
I live in Malacca. It's not an
That's true.
option.
They don't do trash in Malacca, do they? They just reuse everything.
All right, we're signing. We're done with this madness.
Thanks for listening, everyone.